Now I don't remember this battle too well because I had it a few days ago. But the one thing I want to tell you about this battle that it was 40 minutes long, and I had to speed it up several times. But here we go. I lead off with Cresselia. He leads off with Magnezone. Right off the back here, I decide to go for a Thunder Wave just to get it slowed down. And I'm actually kind of glad I started setting my Thunder Waves and stuff up. But this battle right here was really long, and there was an incredibly long Star War in the battle. So I just go for a few Psychics, just trying to get some damage in on them. Because I'm not exactly sure what item this thing has on it at this point in time. So he goes for a Discharge, and it does about 81 damage or something like that. And Cresselia takes it, but also forgot how high Magnezone's special attack was. So it actually did a decent amount of damage. Here I'm still going for the Psychic, just trying to get more damage. He goes for Discharge and gets a pair of hacks on me. It's fair because I did kind of paralyze his Pokemon. So I'm kind of expecting either X-Scissor or U-Turn, so I call back and go into Sparky. He goes for a U-Turn, and it does about 102 damage or something like that. But it does a good amount of damage to him, considering I do resist it. Here I have with Sparky, I go for a Thunderbolt, and out of complete luckiness, I do get the Parahacks, which was kind of cool, and he Lumberied it off. And he goes for Outrage, and it does take out Sparky, unfortunately. Sparky isn't really bulky, he's just a hard hitter. I send in Elizabeth, my Latias, she's shiny. I go for a Dracomir just to knock it out, considering Kingdra is locked into it. So that's actually kind of a bad move too. I probably should have went for something else, but I really didn't want to risk it. So I go in he goes into Registeel. I do believe I call back Elizabeth just because I need to get my attack stat back. And I send in Cresselia, predicting the Thunder Wave. So I do get that right. He goes for Swagger. And this Swagger actually sucked for Cresselia because I got the Confusion hacks like 3 turns in a row before she broke out of Confusion. And he does Psych Up. I'm not exactly sure what that did. Oh wait, there we go. He psyched up the Swagger. I just realized that. But anyway, he's going for Head Smasher, trying to get the flinch hacks on me, and he doesn't get it. So I do get my Thunder Wave off, which is actually pretty good because Cresselia is actually faster than just about everything he has right now. So I go for Malite to try and get my stats back, which I do get. He goes for Swagger and it misses. Now I think I try to hit it with something. Oh, never mind. I call it back and send in Genius, just predicting the Swagger, and it misses again, which actually kind of sucks. So from here, I call back and throw back in Cresselia, do predicting the Thunder Wave, and he switches back and sends an Infernape. So I go for a Thunder Wave here, and he U-turns, and he does U-turn back into Registeel, predicting the Thunder Wave. So we just actually, not the Thunder Wave. Well, I did go for Thunder Wave. I did get the Parahacks, which actually kind of sucked. And he U-turns in right here. I think his whole thing was actually trying to set up Cresselia for a U-turn that would finish her off. It doesn't happen, but I do go for a Thunder Wave here. Don't know why I did that. I should have just went for either Moonlight. But that does happen, so I do use Moonlight to restore my health again. So we actually having a huge Star War right here, just between me trying to get some Thunder Waves on some rest of his other Pokemon. But he does go for Swagger again, and I do believe I call back into Genius. And I don't remember if it misses or not. He gets it, and that's good. I go with Genius for a close combat. I'm actually risking Confusion hacks just because. And Genius just like destroys Togekiss for the most part. I mean, just took it out. I think the crit did matter, but I really didn't know for sure. He sends in Scizor, and I'm not sure if I really want to risk the U-turn considering Technician in 394 attacks. I call back into Jennifer, predicting the Bullet Punch, and I actually kind of got that. And he calls back and sends in Magnezone. I go for Hydro Pump, and it just wipes Magnezone like out. So I really didn't have much to worry about there. I knew whatever he would switch into that wasn't Registeel would die horribly. And I am predicting the close combat, and it does happen. My Hydro Pump missed. I mean, that would have saved me one huge headache had that Hydro Pump missed. So I do call Jennifer back. I'm not ready to lose her yet. And I call into Cresselia again. Probably should have did that from the start, just knowing that it might miss. but that's alright. And Cresselia takes a close combat like a beast, so I'm not worried about that. And he U-turns here. And I think he's predicting the Thunder Wave. He goes back into Registeel. And I get Parahaxed again. So I'm like, you know, this is starting to get annoying right now because all my games I've had today were just pretty much like luck after luck after luck. So I do go for Moonlight here, and I do get it. And I don't think he was counting on that. I think he was counting for the Parahax. He U-turns here, and again, it does a lot of damage. So, and he goes back into Registeel predicting the Thunder Wave, which is cool. So I do go for another Moonlight here, but I get the Parahax. He gets it too. So it's just another turn wasted, and I do get some HP back. I get Parahaxed again. He goes for Swagger, and he misses. So now I'm at above 200 HP. He withdraws and goes into Scizor. I go for Moonlight, just predicting something like that would happen. And I'm go back to 400. Now the one thing that I am glad about is that he did respect my Stealth Rock Claws. Because if he didn't, he would have just walked through my entire team with all the switching that I've been doing. And I actually hated that a lot of people don't respect my no Stealth Rock Claws, because when I play by their rules, it handicaps my team a lot. And if y'all have noticed, I am an original player, and I do like to use a lot of my favorites, which tend to be fire, flying, and ice types. And Stealth Rock hurts. Like, I can't use Moltres or Articuno because they come in losing half their hit points. I really don't know what satisfaction they get out of that, seeing a Pokemon lose half their hit points. They didn't have to do any kind of setup whatsoever to get that. But I just think it's just a broken like attack period. No Pokemon should come in losing like half their hit points and just on a switch. Especially something like Articuno that was meant to be a wall anyway. So that's just the end of my rant there. We go back to the battle. He goes for a U-turn here, and he goes into Infernape, I think, Loon Gear. For trying to get it off, because at this point he thought he could probably take it out, and it really doesn't happen. Even if Cresselia didn't have leftovers, it still survived. So I stepped out of confusion, and this actually kind of sucks here. So he goes for Bullet Punch, and it takes out Cresselia, but she was doing good though. Here in this battle, I send in Jennifer, since his guy is paralyzed. And I do believe he goes for Bullet Punch and takes out Jennifer. I was actually kind of surprised that it did. So I just lost 2 Pokemon, and I go to Elizabeth. Here I start spamming her Hidden Power, and I don't remember if it's Hidden Power Fire or Hidden Power Ground. It's one of the two. So I just use that hoping that I can actually do something. Here I get my other Hidden Power off, and he goes for Thunder Wave, which actually kind of sucked because Elizabeth, she has Life Orb. I really want to put Lum Berry on her just for this. So I get the Parahax, he goes for the Iron Head, and he kind of is just doing minimal damage right now. So here I go for a Recover, just trying to get some of my HP back, and I'm trying to get him to get for a Parahax. And she becomes confused, so I'm like, crap, I'm about to get the Confusion Hacks like all day. And I do get it here. It's actually kind of sucking. She did a good amount of damage to herself. So he's back at about half. I do go for another Recover. Just trying to get some more of my HP back. Here he goes for Iron Head. It doesn't like do much damage that time. Here I actually start spamming Hidden Power again, and I get a crit, which actually helped because there was a lot of hacks in this game on my part. So I'm kind of glad I got it off. And I call Elizabeth back, not really sure what to expect, and I send in Samus, my Pidgeot. He goes for U-turn, so that's actually kind of good because she took it like a beast. Here I go for Brave Bird, and she takes it, and I think I take Scizor down to about like a little bit less than half, and I die due to the recoil of the attack. Here I send back in Elizabeth, and I go for, what was it, Draco Meteor? I don't remember really. Yeah, I go for Draco Meteor, so I really didn't want to risk the Hidden Power at this point. And I get a crit. I don't think it really mattered much though. So that's all good. Elizabeth dies. And here we're down to our last Pokemon. I was sparing for my life that this Fernape had Mach Punch, but it didn't. And I go for the Double Edge and take out Lone Gear. So that was a good game to you, Munchlax. That was a really awesome game. It was really intense.